Hello, Internet.
I'm instantly disappointed.
Some parts of this game may be considered violent or cruel.
Not enough parts of them.
But they could be considered that way. Yes! It's here! It's finally here!
I'm so excited.
The good one!
Yeah.
Well, one of the good ones.
Not the best. It's the good one, not the best one.
That's true.
That's up for debate. I'll debate that with you.
I will accept this debate. I actually really think this is probably the best one. And I know in some part of you also do, because I know your shifting stance on which one is the best.
Oh, always. Like, every day, there's a new Silent Hill that's
hello,
best.
Internet. I'm the gangster of love.
Some people call me the space cowboy.
Yeah, it's definitely before the era where it turned into, hey, dowdy middle-aged man, come fly through the rings of my maze of death.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all of them basically did just become Superman 64, didn't they?
So hello, Internet. We're doing Silent Hill 3.
This is Silent Hill 3.
With your old friends, James, Sam, and Matt. And I'm Amanda.
And it's the spooky month.
It is. We don't.
It's this one we're recording it, but we're probably gonna post this in like November.
Merry Christmas, Internet.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Hanukkah. Have a good Kwanzaa.
So, Matt, do you want to tell us a little bit about which version of the game you're playing?
Yes, I'm playing the PC version, which is how I'm able to get such a good transfer on it.
Yeah.
This is actually the original PC version from 2003. I had it imported from England, and I actually changed the graphical settings. It's interesting that you can actually update, like, you can actually scale up the resolution and stuff. So I'm actually playing this in 800 by 600 when the default resolution for the game, I guess on the PS2, was 640 by 480.
I was gonna say, this looks gorgeous.
Thank God you're not playing the HD collection.
One thing you're not going to see on here, because of how Fraps captured it, for some reason this game likes to flip back and forth between 60 frames per second and 30. Generally, when you're coming out of menus, it'll eventually like catch, I think, a limiter, and it'll be like, oh yeah, I'm a game that's on the PS2. I also had to change the default controller layout, because this was originally a PS2 game and I'm playing it with an Xbox 360 controller.
Nice.
It has a controller input, and I had a controller, so I used it, and it had like the weirdest layout, like start and select were the strafe buttons. I think I left A as the map button, because I don't know, it made sense. I changed the strafe buttons to pushing in the left and right sticks, and I can't remember a lot more of this because I played this to completion like back in February.
Yeah. So what you're saying is this is a better PC port than Homecoming is.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like,
good.
Homecoming was hot garbage. This game,
Homecoming is and always will be a burning dumpster fire.
Yeah, an ever-burning dumpster fire. Oh man, remember these from the movie?
Please, not. Can we just enjoy the game for a little bit?
We'll get through this first sequence, and then we'll start talking about the shitty half brother of this game.
So for the uninitiated, this if you're wondering why there isn't any part of this, the game does start with a cold open.
Yep.
As I guess the tradition of Silent Hill games.
Waste, please.
That bunny has a name, you know.
Yes, he does.
It does.
What is it? Reggie the Rabbit?
Robbie
the Rabbit?
Robbie
the Rabbit.
And
one thing I didn't know the first time, I played through this game 3 times for this, and one thing I didn't know the first time is I could actually change weapons when I was going through.
Just have a submachine gun.
Yeah, you start with a bunch of weapons in this.
You start with a shitload of weapons. So I'm going to equip the pipe because one of the things that the strategy guide describes the knife as the only thing. The knife is a weapon whose low damage is only topped by its low range and pointlessness.
Nice. Excellent.
It's good enough pinch if you've got nothing
So you see
else.
any time in this game that I only have the knife, I am running from things because it is a fucking pointless weapon and you should not fight with it unless you absolutely have to.
Well, spoilers. We're not there yet. So, for those that don't know, this is our protagonist.
Yeah. Who... I think we do actually get a we do actually get a dump on her name eventually.
Yes, we get a full intro.
Yes, but that's much later.
Listen to that
and this is one of the things that's different about this different between this game and Silent Hill 4 is that we have a radio, which makes static, and there's also ambient music that comes up to tell us what enemies are in a scene.
And a menu screen.
And it isn't until much later in the game that I learn how the submachine gun works. Because its firing is super bizarre.
Yes, Silent Hill, the menu screen.
Yes, one other thing you're going to see is a lot of menus and a lot of map use. The map use is just because I'm really bad with directions. You're not going to see that here because there is intentionally never a map of this area.
Yep. For reasons.
Yes, I mean, there is a map in the front, but it's the size of Heather, so she can't tear it down.
Yeah, it's also for significant amount more area than where you're actually going to be in.
Yeah.
Every rust-colored corner looks like every other rust-colored corner to some degree or another.
Yeah, well...
Basically, yeah. It's all grates and rust and... Also, there's going to be a lot of reading, because Heather has a lot of real snarky things to say.
She's great.
I really, really appreciate the amount of effort that was put into Heather's dialogue with interactive objects.
Yeah, no, I think
fun.
Heather's my favorite character in any of the Silent Hill games.
Yes.
Fuck these shirts, they're not gonna help me at all.
Yeah.
Fucking shirts.
I would also argue that besides a few major exceptions, she's also the best character because she has a personality.
Yes.
Hey, how can you forget classic lines like "What's up with this fork?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd say James probably has the best story, but as far as character development and kind of actually like being a person, Heather,
he's an
I think,
everyman.
wins that
You're
department.
supposed to identify with him up to a certain point.
Yeah, until you cease to identify with him in any way, shape, or form,
then you feel
except
bad
in the
about it.
darkest of your heart.
He's not just an everyman, he's no man. He's a skin suit to wear.
Yeah,
He's an
literally
avatar
that.
for the player.
And I would say that Henry was the same way.
Oh, Henry absurdly is that way.
Yeah.
He's designed
he's
to be
intentionally that way.
Yeah, he's
supposed
designed to be a passive viewer.
Yeah.
Also, we're getting some serious monster time right here.
Yeah, no, this area is designed to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Can't imagine why.
This sequence I remember.
Oh yeah.
Fighting with the camera a little bit here. The camera in this game is kind of fidgety, in that it wants to be a fixed perspective camera, but if you hold down what I assigned as the left bumper, the camera will move into like a third-person view so long as you hold it down, and it'll just follow directly behind Heather. And so for some sequences, I'll use that just so I can get a better idea of where I'm going and where I'm pointing.
Why am I in a circus? And why is everything made of meat?
Oh, I love this track.
Yeah.
I love it.
Also, that ambience.
That's
Also,
the one. It's one of my favorites.
One thing from reading the manual I learned is the mode when you have a weapon equipped and actually ready to use is called caution mode, which is also why Heather moves slowly during it.
Heather is probably the most practical of all of our Silent Hill protagonists, and a lot of her mechanics very, very much fit that, which I was extremely impressed by.
She knows when to say "fuck this."
Yeah, no, exactly. And
she's not James fucking putting her hand in random holes.
Right, exactly.
Oops, and then we got eaten by a roller coaster.
We got eaten?
We got eaten by the roller coaster.
We got eaten by a roller coaster.
Hooray.
Look, Matt,
You
if
didn't-
roller coasters can feel love, they can eat too.
You didn't die and instead made it to the part where you died.
Yes, so like I said, that part you will always die there. But it was a dream.
Ah,
It was a dream
it was
the whole
all a
time.
dream. You were dreaming of a snow globe, and the snow globe had all the characters from Happy Days in it.
Just wake up and see Lucas Kane across the table.
Terrible way to wake up.
Oh hey, I was just reading The Tempest.
One thing that we'll notice here
I need to go to
is
the
that-
bathroom now.
One thing we'll also notice here is that Heather's character model is actually really amazingly detailed for the for the PS2 era.
Well, and I think the
it
reason...
actually kind of holds up today
It
in
really
character
does.
models.
She's got a lot of details about her that are really important to her character, like that necklace and the fact that she's not a natural blonde.
Yeah, there's actually a thing that was said that her hair was actually cropped short to make her easier to render.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But it also became a defining point of. It also became a good point of her character.
All right, cutscene.
And her freckles.
Teenage Dreamboat music.
Me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't call sooner. Yeah, I guess I was.
Is Harry really on the other end of that line?
Oh, I didn't get that thing you asked me to.
Don't get so suspicious already.
Okay.
Is Sean
That was-
Bean at the
Okay,
other
I
end of
will.
that line?
That was one thing that actually kind of bugged me is the way that she grips the phone seems kind of unnatural.
I mean, rendering is only so careful.
Douglas.
Also, that was the thing I was going to point out is it's not just Heather that has an amazing character
there's-
model. It's all of them.
Yeah, it's like yeah, I think Heather's is the most detailed because she actually has like skin features and stuff.
Yeah.
Like Douglas is I guess Douglas has stubble and stuff too, but Heather has a lot more.
Just let me have an hour. No, half an hour of your time.
Have you seen a dowdy possessed
Yeah,
man
it
with
was
godlike
totally
powers?
not.
They seem to be all over the place these days.
This is very important. It's
I'm
about
looking
your
for the
purpose.
origami killer.
I'm not.
Also, one thing that I
Scott
noticed
Shelby at your service.
One thing I keep
Hashtag the
thinking
origami killer.
during this first cutscene is that Douglas sounds a lot like an orc for some reason.
Are you still following me? Do I have to scream?
Sorry.
There's clearly no one else
You're
here.
right. You're so right. I can hear it. Work.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scream at who? There's clearly no one else here.
Yeah, right.
This bathroom's
And
a
also-
shithole in more than the usual sense.
It's a shithole filled with shitholes.
Man, someone wasted like 2 whole things of lipstick to put that on the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Blood don't stick like that.
Hey.
And we get our first loading screen. Yeah, loading
Yeah,
screen.
our first save screen.
Oh, someone's been playing. Burger
No,
shop.
what are you talking about? I totally didn't say this is my third
This-
time playing through the game.
This is totally a blind run of this game.
Yes.
I think it's
So
physically
checking through my
impossible.
inventory, seeing what we got. I have the knife, which is hot garbage.
Look,
And
it'll get you
pendant.
through.
House key. It's my front door key.
Combined with key. Now I have key necklace.
Daisy.
No, I have knife key.
Knife key. Knife key.
Gonna use that on that detective's car.
My dad gave me this pendant on my birthday. It's one of my treasured belongings. Combine key with knife.
Probably never
What?
come up.
Yeah,
Jewel
no,
inside,
definitely.
like a little red tablet.
Oh, I
Definitely.
oh. Good job checking that first thing.
Yep, that
Most
feels
people
like
go the whole game without knowing that's in there.
Yeah, I know. How did I know how to do that on my first run? Anyway, time to go out the window that I never get any context to say go out of.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't spend 30 minutes in that bathroom once.
Fuck off, Scott Shelby.
Just put your face against the walls of the bathroom until you find something interactable.
Also, Heather has a very derpy run, which I appreciate.
Yeah, well, I mean,
the legs
look at
kind of
those.
swing out to the sides a little.
Well, it's more her arms. Like her
It's
arms.
yeah,
Her arms are just odd in the way that character animation
I mean,
goes.
she's very clearly not a track star. Also, somebody just like fucking backed up into this alleyway.
Which is weird. How did they get out?
They're still in there.
They just walked. I guess they got out through the back of there. And the other thing that's weird is Heather's breathing animation, and I think it's because her arms are just left static, so that it can adapt to whatever weapon she's holding. But you'll notice that when she doesn't have anything equipped, she doesn't put her hands on her knees. She just kind of like bends over.
Yeah, she just kind of sags. So one of the things that I really, really like about Heather's character model, and I've talked to Manda about this, is how much she looks like she is just completely strung out.
Yes. Yeah.
Heather has a significant amount of kind of contextual clues pointing to the fact that she is at least probably some sort of addict.
She has a lot of red under her eyes, a lot of bags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her stamina is shit.
Yeah.
She has very little endurance. And she's
Her teeth are not perfect.
Yep.
But at least they're not in her eye socket.
Yeah,
true.
You can't blame
What
her
was
for
that
looking
from?
a little dirty. Everyone does.
That's the
HD
Corinthian
collection. No, the HD collection.
I
For
see what
some
you're saying.
reason, in Silent Hill 2,
Yeah.
Maria's textures get swapped out. And,
right, and she gets
she has teeth in her eyes.
So one thing you might have noticed, or one thing you might have noticed, and one thing you'll notice because I start going out of my way to point it out later on. Let's see. So there's a few things to say about Central Square Mall. One thing is that the location we wake up in, Happy Burger, is actually a chain from Silent Hill 2.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of places you visit in 2 that you go back to in 3.
And as we go through the mall, through the normal mall, you'll see a bunch of signs that say Turn Aisle, I think, Tirnaille, and that is a Welsh phrase that means other world. Ooh. And as we go through, more and more of the signs get replaced with that. There are also a couple other signs that will say Nornan and Yggdrasil. Which are all references to Norse mythology, Yggdrasil being the tree that holds the worlds together.
Yeah, the world tree.
Yeah.
Oh God, no, it's a sausage man.
So this is actually
a
closer.
Yes, a closer, which is it is, I believe, based on based on one of the monsters from Silent Hill 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The closer, it was based on the Mandarins, which were a monster in Silent Hill 2 that never actually fought you. They climbed around on the bottom of grates.
What the hell is
Yes,
this?
that's right.
And Masahiro Ito said himself that the Mandarins were some of the most underrated monsters, so he added the closers into Silent Hill 3, made them an actual real monster, and based them on the aesthetic of the Mandarins. And there's a second reason for this, that this gives a connecting thread between each Silent Hill, in that a lot of Silent Hill is the kind of personalized hellscape for the individual. Also, I like the detail that our gun is unloaded because we just, fired it until it started clicking into the closer there.
Good games are good.
But so now we have a gun, so I'm gonna use that until I get something that isn't a fucking knife.
When I should actually bring it up, when cutscenes come up, do we want to just be quiet and let it play out?
Yeah, we could do that unless somebody has something interesting to say.
We never have anything interesting.
These shirts aren't going to help me at all.
But so that was one of the things that about the one of the things about the closer was that there are all
That's one
these.
of my favorite lines.
Should I call the police?
I can tell from here that it's dead.
Should I?
And I believe the model for the character is it's one of the characters from Silent Hill 2.
Which is
the dead person on the ground.
Marie?
Oh, yeah.
It's the woman that James meets in the graveyard. I can't remember her name. Angela,
that's it.
Yes.
Yeah. That's her character model. One of the things you'll see is for a lot of dead people on the ground, they are actually recycled character models just covered in gratuitous amounts of blood.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So we kind of interrupted you a little bit, but you were actually hitting on a really interesting point, and one of the things that I really, really, really enjoy about Silent Hill in general is the thread of the individualized hellscape, but from a
revolt of
a sort of stock set of designs, basically. Like Silent Hill itself
can create its own stuff.
Right, and it has intentions and it has preferences, which I think is really fascinating. The concept of I really enjoy the concept of Silent Hill as very much a silent arbitrator. It exists to judge you and frequently find you wanting.
Right.
And the reason that I think that's even more interesting is that it is an entity that has its own preferred aesthetic, which is terrifying.
It is more interesting to think of the horror as the town itself than, let's say, a cult.
Right, exactly.
Which is a human face.
Right,
Yes.
and the effective parts of the cult are, I think, highly utilized in this game, in that they are what happens when... It's essentially what happens when human beings try and touch the mythos in any way. Like, it goes wrong. It goes horribly, horribly, horribly wrong.
Are you a good person? My Rustblood Meatman will figure that out.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Rustblood Meatman.
Rustblood Meatman is my Cannibal Corpse cover band.
Thank you, Jay.
Rustblood Meatman was my high school gym teacher.
It's dodgeball time.
Hey.
So let's see.
You don't have a map,
All right,
and she does not draw her own.
Yep. Yeah. That's one of the interesting things that is noted about Silent Hill 3 is that you have to go and actually collect maps. And the thing that's nice about that is it gives you an overview with like none of the notes, so it very much encourages exploration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you could also miss the maps if you're not
You could also
exploring.
miss the maps. So here we go. I finally got the fucking map of Central Square Shopping Center.
Sweet.
I'm going to look at this a lot, because, again, I'm bad at directions.
You're alright.
I mean, a lot of this is intended to be maze-like, for good reason. A lot of Heather's journey is that she is literally finding her way through a labyrinth, and whether that is the labyrinth of her own life, or the labyrinth of the conspiracy that surrounds her, or any number of things. A lot of this game is trying to navigate
I hate them.
Street Jacket Dinosaur Edition.
We encounter the first numb bodies.
Yeah.
Numb bodies are named for their clumsy movements and their very dead appearance. They have weird, gross Harlequin baby skin.
Can we call them purple anuses?
Yes, the purple anuses.
The other thing is they have a very cervix-like head, and they make weird lamb sounds. They're also the only monster in this game with a tail.
How many cervixes have you seen in your life?
Yeah, I don't think any.
Okay.
So anyway,
beef jerky.
Beef jerky, a thing I basically never use. I think I use it once, and it's about as effective as I hoped it would be.
No one ever uses it.
Yeah, it's just easier just to run and just stock it up. But one of the other things one of the other things noted is the numb body's underdeveloped look makes it very fetus-like in appearance.
Yep.
Bunch of boxes here. Yep. I remember when I kept looking at it the first time, like, Heather, there's a bunch of bats in that bucket. Pick up a fucking bat.
There's something in there that's kinda rendered.
There's a key there. Too bad I don't have any long bat-like objects to get it out with.
My arms are a little longer.
My arms were a little longer. I can make this happen.
Yeah, I like, and it kind of fits here. Heather is a character where the thing of like, there's a bunch of chairs in the way. I don't want to move that. Like, kind of makes sense.
New puzzle solution: extend arms.
So I'm trying to have her look at the save points.
Nah.
Excuse me, save point. Save point.
I read a book on black magic.
It's from the altar.
And it's also, so one thing that we'll notice here is that as Heather keeps looking at these sigils, she keeps remembering things.
Strange things.
Yes, things that she doesn't know why she remembers suddenly. Spooky.
Spooky.
So spooky.
So we have a fish. Oh, no, go ahead.
No, keep talking about good things, because I was going to bring up the bad one.
Oh, I was also going to bring up the bad one, so...
Yeah,
Well, one thing I will say there is that that door at the end that's locked, in a New Game Plus, if you've satisfied the right conditions, the handle comes off the door and turns into a lightsaber.
Sweet.
This is also the Silent Hill with the most New Game Plus antics. Like,
Yeah, one thing also that I forgot to mention about Heather, speaking of a Silent Hill with the most things, Heather is the Silent Hill protagonist with the most possible different death sequences.
Yeah.
Well, because it's a part of the plot specifically that she has animations where something pulls her off. Everyone has internet. Excuse me if we do spoilers and stuff. I've played this game like 5 times. Like,
you don't actually. I don't think you actually see Valtiel in this.
Yes, you do. I mean, if you die.
No, I'm saying I got pro strats.
Oh, okay. Well, if you die, Valtiel carries you off, and there's a couple different. I mean, that's the thing. That's the thing that you'll just know. Like you'll just see it, and here in New Game Plus, in New Game Plus, if you have satisfied the right conditions, it will say "Crispy Toasted Dead," and there will be a flamethrower on top of it.
Nice.
And the flamethrower looks super weird. It looks like the friggin' incinerator from Alien. Because they use
a slap together flamethrower.
Yeah, well, also, but
it's bread.
This bread won't help me at all.
But, it's bread.
But the other thing is that they made it look like that because it uses all the same animations for the submachine gun.
Nice.
One of the things I think makes this game so successful is that it's not afraid to have a little bit of humor, you know? Like,
well, and it does it in a way that makes entirely perfect sense, in that our protagonist is a sassy teen.
Yeah.
You know, but who is also, you know, kind of got a little bit of a head on her shoulders, even though she's also a little bit of an idiot.
That's a fucked up thing to say to me, a teen.
So yeah.
Do we want
Duality is a thing in this game.
Do we want to talk about the bad thing?
Yeah, we're going to talk about the bad thing. We've officially eclipsed the beginning part of the game, and now we are roaming through hallways. So go ahead, Manda.
Hill, the movie 3D Revelation.
The movie, the
Silent
game,
Hill
the
Revelation,
3D.
Yeah, Silent
the movie,
Hill
the game,
2,
the cereal.
Silent Hill 2 3D Revelation. Yeah?
Silent Hill Revelation 3D, otherwise known as Silent Hill Revelation.
It's a bad
Otherwise
movie.
known as a walking piece of hot garbage that I love so desperately with all of my heart.
I gotta say, I will say I have actually watched it twice. It's definitely not as fun the second time around, even with two people.
I firmly believe that.
It's only fun if you're watching it with Sam for the first time.
I had fun watching it by myself the first time, I'll admit. And one of the things that's... Oh yeah, now a bunch of numbodies show up because we've satisfied all the conditions of this.
Do shit.
Yeah. Get out.
Look at those little dancer's legs.
They just want to show you how pretty they are.
Yeah.
Look how veiny they are.
Yeah.
Yum.
Let's see. What was one of the other... So one of the things that I will say about Silent Hill Revelation 3D is and this is the thing that I realized as I kept going through as I went through the movie, is that it's entirely the opposite of this game, in that this game spends a lot of time like building stuff up and kind of making you think about stuff, where Silent Hill Revelation 3D, like, literally every 3 minutes is like, look, there's a scary thing, now here's another scary thing, and it's like going through a bad haunted house.
I mean, and a part of that, though, like, could be the mediums. Like, you are forced to play through this. You have to sit and watch a movie.
If you turn this into a movie and Heather was walking scared down a fucking dark hallway in a mall while monsters were making noises all around her, and you weren't sure if something was going to attack her or what her safety was, I think that could be pretty compelling. Not as compelling as when you're immersed in it, but also this closer is just walking around in circles because it's clipping on a wall.
Nice. There's also the consideration that I think what Manda is referring to, especially, well, I mean, maybe not. Immersion is definitely a huge part of why horror games being translated into movies doesn't always work, but also definitely the length and the pacing.
Yeah.
Although the pacing of this game is sometimes suspect. I think that is probably one of its biggest downfalls. And not downfalls, but
one of its biggest downpours.
Yes, one of his biggest downpours. But like one of the prime criticisms I would make of this game is that its pacing is a little strange sometimes.
Are you on hard difficulty for?
I hope you're on hard difficulty.
I don't think he is.
I'm on medium difficulty for
Okay,
Rose.
Oh man, because the hard difficulty for this is fucking amazing.
We'd have to talk about Shakespeare for like 2 hours.
We would literally have to talk about Shakespeare for 2 hours. It's so good.
Good thing
I also like
we didn't
this
do that
in no
then,
way
'cause I don't have
alphabetical.
Nope.
I don't have 2 hours for Shakespeare. Also, I fast forward through doing this puzzle thing. Once I finish looking at all the proper numbers, so I can swap them around. Because I don't think people wanted to watch me shift books around forever.
But basically, yeah, what I'm saying is it can be difficult to have the same kind of experience in, say, maybe an hour and a half than you would in 6 hours.
Yeah. Well, and also the pacing of the movie is hot garbage. But
yeah, no, like I said, the movie. Well, yeah, because the movie's a trim 77 minutes or something.
A trim 77 minutes, yes.
And
the movie, I think, it tries so very hard.
It tries too hard is the thing.
Exactly, it tries
it's
too
afraid,
hard.
It's afraid you're going to walk out of it, and so it just has to keep bringing in monsters because that's what you want to see, right?
Mm-hmm. Put these books out of order.
I feel like that was supposed to rhyme and then didn't.
It's unlocked.
What a shitty way to protect the password to your...
No. Don't think about it as a bad security system. Think about it as some fucking Shakespeare nerd was like, ha ha ha, I like this idea.
They have come to witness the beginning. The rebirth of paradise, despoiled by man.
I'm sorry, Galadriel.
What are you talking about?
Don't you know? Your power is needed.
How should I know?
I am Claudia.
So what?
Remember me, and your true self as well. Also, that which you must become. The one who will lead us to paradise with blood-stained hands.
And in the darkness bind us.
Right? Did you do all this?
It was the hand of God.
I thought that was you guys groaning for a second.
Nope.
No, that's a recurring sound effect.
It just sounded like Manda and Sam groaning at the same time.
Thanks.
I don't get it.
Neither do I. Maybe we'll get it next time, Internet.
All right, Internet. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned and good night.
Good night.